You are listening to Slice of Seattle on KUGR Cougar College Radio.
Good morning, Cougs. You are listening to Slice of Seattle on KUGR Cougar College Radio. Smith Sly up in the booth today with the guest to end all guests, Matti, Tenney. How are we doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Sly?
Dude, it was an early day for me. I got up at like 7:30 this morning. Had to go to a meeting with the Daily Evergreen.
Yep.
For not reading the Daily Evergreen, go read it.
Big endorsement. Go read
just
the Daily Evergreen.
plug in the Daily Evergreen shamelessly over here.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's a bit of a hazy day today on the Palouse. Got some wildfire smoke. That's like the bad thing about living in Eastern Washington is you get all the Canadian like fire smoke. It's not good.
I mean, I've lived in Eugene. I've lived in Seattle. I've lived here. Everywhere I've been, there's been smoke. I mean, growing in high school in Eugene, there were always the Southern Oregon fires that lit it up. There was the big Civic Ballpark fire in 2015. One of the only 12 remaining all-wooden ballparks burned down in Eugene. So there's just always been fires around this time. I thought we were going to get away with it because we got pretty far into the summer without anything too bad. But yeah, no, walking over here today, my lungs felt a little cloudy.
Dog days of August, man. Yeah, no, you've been doing some work with the Drifters down in Oregon.
I was a summer intern, media and communications intern with the Springfield Drifters down in Springfield, Oregon. It was just a lot of fun. I'd been with the Dub C Fish Sticks the 2 years prior, just kind of solely doing broadcasting. This summer I was able to branch out a little more. I did a lot of PA. I was doing on-field hosting. I was live tweeting, just kind of whatever I could get my hands on, I was doing, and it was just a really great experience to be around West Coast League baseball.
No, dude, it's absolutely great. Yeah. Look, hey, let's jump in. Let's talk some Cougs.
Let's do it.
Cougar football opening day, August 30th.
1 week away.
1 week away, man.
We're almost there.
I don't think I've ever been this more hyped in my entire life. Like college football starts today, I think. Too.
Today, yep.
So the Cougs are a little bit late to the party. I mean,
well, it's week 0.
That is true. Yeah, exactly. But they're going to be playing against Idaho. Mm-hmm. Which I think that's going to be like, I can't remember when was the last time we played against Idaho.
The last time we played against Idaho was 2023.
Okay, so it's not too far along.
No, that was the 1 year of Dayon Henley we had. He sealed the game. We almost lost Idaho, actually.
Yeah.
That was Cam Ward's first year with us. No, that would be his second year with us.
Okay, yeah. Yep.
And I remember
before he left for Miami.
Yeah. It was a Dayon Henley game-sealing pick 6, and he started to run it back, and then everybody on the field was, Dayon, get down, end the game. And so good memories from the Idaho games for sure.
Oh, yeah. No, so we're going to talk a little bit about the quarterback situation, man. I mean, there's been a bit of Jimmy Rogers kind of said at the beginning of the year, he was saying that the play on the field for fall camp was what was going to determine the starter.
Absolutely.
The transfer we got from Rutgers injured his shoulder, so he's probably not going to play this year. I mean, it depends on if he gets better, but so it leaves 3 kind of main options, and that's Zevi Eckhouse, who if you have a pulse and you've been following Coug football, you know who Zevi Eckhouse is.
Absolutely.
I know you know Zevi Eckhouse.
No, he's a good friend of mine. Yeah, no, Zevi is a really great guy. I can't wait to see him get his shot.
Absolutely. And then you got Jackson Potter, redshirt sophomore, so this is basically his 3rd year with
he's been in the program for a long time. It's been cool to see him start to get more reps, and especially last year, as WSU did, they didn't want to burn Zevi's senior season. They wanted to give him that redshirt option. Yeah. And so, Jackson did get a lot of those, I don't want to say garbage time, but those end of game snaps.
Yep.
And I think he was looking pretty good. I think that from what I've heard out of camp, he's been playing really good. I think either option is a great choice for the Cougs, especially with this offense, just whole team kind of reset following the Jake Dickert era.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then our third option for QB would be Julian Duggar from Pitt. And, I mean, from what it kind of sounds like, he would be like the 3rd string, basically. I was at practice yesterday. He looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Do I think he's like starting potential? I think his limited time on the Cougs was what might give Jackson Potter an edge over him.
But the thing you got to think about is that all 3 of these quarterbacks are learning a new system.
Yeah.
Coach. Nobody on this team, regardless of how long these guys have been here, it's a completely new staff, like I said, new system. I think that it's a great opportunity for all 3 of these guys to get a chance to show what they have.
No, absolutely. And to me, when I was thinking about it, both the Cougs and the Seahawks feel very similar to me this year, mainly with like new head coach, Mike McDonald with the Seahawks, Jimmy Rogers with Cougar football. Right. Zevi Eckhouse, to me, has really kind of always felt like the Drew Lock of this Cougar program. Like Drew Lock for the Seahawks playing these preseason games. Don't get me wrong, I love Drew Lock, and we'll get into that later when we go into our Seahawks segment. Love Drew Lock, quality quarterback beat the Eagles, so basically we're Super Bowl champions.
As a Niners fan, I can't complain about a Eagles loss.
Exactly. I like Drew Lock, but, and you'll probably disagree with me about it with
Sure.
Zevi Eckhouse.
Sure.
They're the guys who are like quality quarterbacks, good backup if someone gets hurt and they can come in and ball out. But I think like you know what you're going to get from them every single year, and it's not superstar level performances.
Sure, I think we also need to think about the fact that, one, Zevi's coming off of a year where he didn't play. You know, before this year, he had been playing. You know, he was 3-year starter at Bryant. He was outstanding at Bryant.
Yeah.
You know, he was a top player in that conference. Came to the Cougs on a last-minute decision, was originally committed to Jacksonville State.
Yep.
Came down to the Cougs, and I think we need to think about, like I was telling you before we started the show, it was a close battle between John Mateer and Zevi Eckhouse last year. People don't really remember that, but it came down to the wire. Obviously, John was ultimately the better choice, Heisman candidate for a lot of the year, just a leader in quarterback rushing stats. Just he had a fantastic year, and that's why he got his props and he got his money at Oklahoma. But I think that Zevi has game experience. I'm not too familiar with Duggar, to be honest.
No, you're good. No, me neither.
Jackson Potter's game experience so far has been, you know, when the game is pretty much over, has been decided. He hasn't really had those snaps in, like, I don't want to say. See, it's hard to choose the right wording. I don't want to say that his snaps have been meaningless, but like, you know, rather than the meat of the game, he's getting the end of the game.
Yeah.
And so I think Zevi has that in game, and that contributes to your decision making, your awareness, your where you are on the field, what decisions you have to make. All these guys have been working on it in a controlled setting in practice. Zevi's the only guy. Zevi's the guy that I know that has the in-game experience to do it.
Yeah. No, and you mean if you're asking me, do I think like Jackson Potter is the second coming of John Mateer, where he's going to steal the job from Zevi Eckhouse? I'm not sure. I don't think he's as good as John Mateer is. I mean, John Mateer is like kind of in a. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and glaze John Mateer and say like he's the best quarterback in college football, but it's like I don't think Jackson Potter is in the same conversation that John Mateer is in.
Not at all. And John Mateer surprised everybody last year. I think Coug fans knew what he was capable of from the year before. Yeah. You know, we were constantly running 2 quarterback sets with John Mateer as the running option in the play. So I think we had an idea of what he could do, and that was mainly to be like use his eligibility to make sure that like he didn't want to transfer out and leave. And then the next year, that's all he did was ball out and run and make plays. And it didn't end the way we wanted it to, but you know, he was able to step up and do what he needed to do. That makes me very hopeful for what these other quarterbacks can do. If they just get that essence of, hey, I have the keys, let me do what I can do.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. The time's going to wind down. We're going to get closer to Saturday game day. I mean, we don't really know who's going to...
We do not.
We don't know who's going to be the final pick. I know you're probably rooting for Zevi.
I think the general consensus is that, at least for the first couple games, it'll be Zevi, depending on how... Obviously, everything's subject to change.
Do you think that, like, hey, that Idaho game... Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that Idaho's awful and that we should win that game, but, like, if we, like, end up losing that game and Zevi's, like, not balling out to his potential, do you think they go Jackson Potter that second game of the year against SDSU?
I think... See, that's tough because SDSU is it's a bigger opponent.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
It's a future conference.
They're in the MWC.
They're still in the Mountain West. No, they're one of the states that didn't get added. It was okay. Yeah, I gotcha. I don't know. I think it's a bigger game. I feel like they'll probably go with the guy that they feel more comfortable with. In my opinion, going back to the game experience, I'm gonna go with Zevi. I feel like week 1. Especially because it is against an FCS school.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like it's not that big of a deal. Obviously, it's a big deal if you lose a game, especially against Idaho.
Totally.
I think that there's just going to be so many more factors that goes into it if we do lose that Idaho game. I don't think that it'll be solely on the quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, I think our defense has a lot of promise. And if they're not able to deliver against an FCS school, I think a lot of it's going to have to be on them.
No, absolutely. Well, it goes both ways, offense and defense.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, opening day for the Cougs, August 30th against Idaho. I don't think that's the most exciting football match. I think the Apple Cup in Pullman is going to be...
Already sold out.
Already sold out, dude. So, I was going to say, like, get your tickets now, but you literally can't. It's impossible. But no, if you still want to pull up for that Idaho game, that's going to be a just fun Cougar football game.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's always the Battle of the Police is always fun. It's, you know, you got everybody coming.
Yeah.
You know, the Moscow people can come, the Pullman people can come. Everybody's happy.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's gonna do it for Cougs. Hey, let's get in. Let's talk some Mariners, dude. I've been wanting to get you on the pod for a while. Talk some baseball. Look, Mariners. a road stint that made me want to just claw my eyes out.
Well,
man.
as a Giants fan, welcome to the party.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Oh, I swear. No, but that was brutal. I mean, Baltimore is weirdly not a good team this year. They were good.
It's been interesting. They had
Yeah.
they had a really quick come up for like 2 years, and
Yes.
now they're just like stalling out for some reason. When the last 2 years they've been looking really, really promising.
It doesn't feel like anything like has changed. Like it doesn't feel
No.
like they made any significant changes that would like handicap them. But they're just all of a sudden are like not like they're cursed. Like they're just not playing well.
Man, think of another team that started off pretty good and ended up not playing good the rest of the season. Definitely not my team.
Definitely not the
Definitely not the
Giants.
Giants.
Yeah, but then also in that same vein, the Mets.
Yeah,
I will.
they've had a crazy fall off.
I am going to publicly apologize to all Mariners fans. Last week on my show, before that was after the first game of that Mets series, we won that first game like 11-8.
Yeah.
And I came on the show the next morning and was like, "Man, the Mets suck." I was like, "The Mets are so bad, we're gonna sweep them." And then what happened? We lost that series. Two out of 3 games, we dropped both of them. I am so sorry because I don't think I've ever jinxed a team harder in my life than when I did that. And then we get swept by the Phillies. It's just like it was like the most gut punch of a road trip that I just. And like I'm not gonna sit here and say like that's gonna kill our playoff hopes, but
Right.
like now we're 2 games out.
Okay, 2 games out's not that bad.
For the Mariners, we need as much breathing room as we possibly can, man. I swear.
You're still well over 500.
Oh, totally. I mean, but like for now, I mean,
That's true.
it is a little bit rough. But hey, yesterday started a series against the Athletics. You pick up a win, 3-2. I was talking to because I was watching the game with our buddy Connor Simmons
Yep.
at our place, and
Shout out Big Ginge.
shout out Big Ginge, man, Redhead Otani right there.
That's my man.
Oh yeah. But I was sitting here talking to him about the game, and it was a close game. It was like we were winning 2-1, and I turned to him. I go, I don't know why. Like I'm a certified A's hater. Hate
Sure,
the A's.
sure.
Right. I despise them. For some reason, they're one of those teams that just has our number. Not necessarily for beating us.
Yeah.
But like. Close games. Like it's like I feel like I was telling him I was like it feels like every single game we play against them we win by like 1 or 2 runs.
Right.
And right after I said that, Root Sports put up a graphic and was like 8 out of the like some odd matchups against the A's have been determined by 1 or 2 runs. And I was like, they heard me.
Yeah.
They knew what I was saying, and they put up that graphic.
They're
And
listening.
they are listening, dude. The algorithm it hears you. But no, like it's for some reason that's just like we keep like getting into really close games against them, and I don't know why. But still, hey, pick
Yeah.
up a 3-2 win.
There you
and Gino was able to do this.
Wow, this is absolutely laced down and fair gone. Home run tied game. Don't blink. Gino ties it in the 5th.
Number 40 for Gino. So he's now tied with Aaron Judge, unless Aaron Judge somehow hit a home run that I wasn't aware of.
Not that I know of.
Not that I know of. I'm pretty sure he's tied right now with Aaron Judge for 40. So I mean,
Man, I bet you're glad to have him back.
I could rant to you for about an hour about how frustrating that Gino trade was back 2023.
Yeah,
Like
wow.
we gave
That was 2020. Man.
what we gave up, and then now we have to actually. So like when we got like Carlos Vargas in exchange. Well, so
Who?
I mean like.
I'm
I'm
playing.
Carlos Vargas hasn't been bad. Like
No.
Carlos Vargas has been okay. Do I think he was worth Gino? No,
Not at
no, not at all. And then we had to give up Tyler Locklear and 2 other pitchers in order to get him back, which kind of sucks. But the other guy we got from the Diamondbacks also pitched in yesterday and was able to do this.
Talented, but I did not expect to see him throw 97 pitches.
Naylor's 100th career home run gives the Mariners the lead in the 7th inning.
I was talking to you before this. She stepped over the calls.
Watch your toes, man.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Okay, it wasn't bad. He still got the moment in.
Yeah, I mean, like, he was ready. I kind of think like having her almost step over it gave him time to like think about it.
I
he
think
wasn't-
so. I think that, you and me both broadcasters.
Yes.
I've been doing it for almost 3 years at this point.
Yep.
Which,
Mhm.
pretty cool.
Yep.
No, I think that it's just something that you've had to learn, especially with color commentary. I'll be the first one to admit that's not my strong suit. I'm much better at play-by-play than I am color commentary.
Yeah.
Still love it both. I think one of the hardest things is, especially in baseball, because yes, it's a not boring game. Yes, it's a long game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of opportunity to talk, and there's so much to talk about just because baseball is so historic and just there's always something to talk about.
It has
which
its own
is really
rhythm
cool.
to it. Like
Absolutely, and you get into a lull. And then when things like this happen and it breaks that lull, it's hard to kind of judge exactly how long you're going to have.
Yeah.
And I think she wrapped it up pretty well, especially given that, they'd already gone yard once that game.
Exactly.
So I'm not too mad about it. Yeah, it was a little, you gave me a little look and I was like, oh yeah. No, that's definitely a little on the toes. But honestly, hey, props to Naylor for getting his 100. Props for getting the call in. I think all around great moment for Mariners fans.
Oh, totally. 100th career home run. I mean, Naylor's, not always the most power, but when he comes through pretty big.
Yeah.
And then the last guy to get on the scoreboard, so all 3 runs for the Mariners coming off of home runs, capped off by Mr. Jorge Polanco.
Fly ball, deep right field, at the wall, gone! Jorge Polanco, 3-1 Mariners.
Yeah, man. It's hard to not get hyped over an Aaron Goldsmith home run call. Don't get me wrong. I like Aaron Goldsmith. I think he's got a voice from heaven made for broadcasting.
I miss Gregory Polanco. I'm gonna be so honest.
Honestly, dude, I swear.
Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to
No,
interrupt.
it was a good little side tangent.
Aaron Goldsmith, yes.
Aaron Goldsmith. He's good. I've met him.
Really nice guy, yeah.
I met Aaron Goldsmith. Super nice guy.
Courtesy of Chappie. Thank you, Chappie.
Oh yeah. I gotta get Chappie on the horn about possibly going to a Kraken game with a media pass. That'd be very
I have
interesting.
never been to a hockey game.
You're joking.
I just was never a big hockey guy. I grew up in Eugene, Oregon.
Monty.
Cut me some slack.
Monty.
The closest was in Southern California, or the Ducks.
Monty.
Ooh, actually, I probably should have rooted for the Ducks.
You are telling me in your 2 decades of life,
22 years.
22 years, you have not once been to a hockey game.
Actually, I went to a Portland Nighthawks game. No, what is it? Winterhawks. Portland Winterhawks. I went to one game when I was like 7.
It's salvageable, man. You gotta go watch some more hockey, man.
Hey,
hockey,
I found out there were 3 periods in hockey. That was pretty cool.
Hey.
That was pretty cool. And you guys, it's intermission.
Elite ball.
The theater kid in me very much appreciated the intermissions.
Elite ball knowledge right there. Elite puck knowledge.
Puck knowledge, yeah.
Exactly.
Jeez.
But no, hey, let's talk a little bit more about the Mariners.
Let's do it.
I
I think there's one thing you want to talk about.
Hey, it's Victor Robles.
What a guy.
D1 crash out, but I wanted to bring you on. I wanted to ask you your opinions about that whole what happened.
I think there are 2 sides to every story.
Absolutely.
On one hand, you have a guy who chucked a baseball bat at a pitcher.
You can't do that.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
Just kind of across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Not a good idea.
Yep.
Also, illegal.
Exactly.
Could be considered assault.
Assault, yeah.
Then you got to think about the context. He is on a rehab assignment, dealt with that injury against the Giants, which I'm going to take a sec to talk about this because I'm not pooping on Mariners fans or the Mariners.
Yep. I
But
hope not.
that Robles play was single-handedly one of the lowest IQ baseball plays I've seen in the last 5-10 years.
Yeah.
You can talk about should have got caught pop flies. You can talk about the World Series last year in the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
But
I could talk about that all day, man.
ninth inning, it didn't matter if he caught it. It was a foul ball.
Yep.
Jumps into a fence
Mm-hmm.
and messes up his shoulder, and it's just been downhill ever since for him. It seemed like he was finally on the comeback up. He's playing in AAA. He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
Mariners need a right-handed bat. We were talking about this.
Absolutely.
They need a corner outfielder.
Yes.
And then he goes and pulls something like this. Now, context being, he did recently lose his mom.
Yep.
But part of that, it's not an excuse.
No.
And part of the reasoning for his rehab assignment that I've been seeing was partially for the injury and partially because he wasn't controlling his emotions well. He wasn't regulating his emotions well in the dugout. And it was, that affects team chemistry 100%.
Yes.
And so to turn around and when you're on rehab partially for your attitude and your emotions, turning around and chucking a baseball bat at a pitcher, just not a great idea.
Yeah. No, I've played baseball all my life. I got hurt. I only had one like injury in my entire career. And, sat me for like a few games.
Sure.
I only sat like 2-3 games, and that was brutal.
Yeah.
Like that was like heartbreaking because I wanted to be out there so bad. So imagine, in a 162 game season, you missed more than half the year.
Yeah.
It's like mentally as a baseball player, as someone who his life is baseball. That's so hard.
But then why would you go around and do something that tacks another 10 games onto that?
Exactly.
That's the problem. It's you can be as good of a player as you want to be, but if you can't keep your cool, not only will teams be hesitant to look at you as a piece of their team, but it's just a frustrating thing to see for a player who has a lot of potential, who can be really good, who could be a really huge piece for the Mariners, especially as you guys are looking to push for the playoffs. You're in second place. I
look like this. In baseball, coaches all going through high school, we always talk about selfless at-bats.
Absolutely.
I go up to the plate, not trying to hit a home run. I know I need to get this bunt down. I need to get this base hit. I can do a sack. I hit a sack fly, and that scores a run. Selfless at-bats because, when you have guys on your team that are capable of taking selfless at-bats, you win baseball games.
Yeah.
And this, the way I frame it is it wasn't a selfless at-bat. He did something for himself to kind of, a cathartic release of sorts, and it hurts the team. And
absolutely. Not only I found it funny, his reaction.
Oh, absolutely.
We were talking about it. He, like you were saying, you made the reference to the Green Goblin as he was walking behind the catcher, as if the bat was speaking to him.
Yeah.
Fantastic reference.
Yes, exactly.
Another thing is that after he throws the bat, he just looks at the picture and puts his arms up like, what did I do?
Yeah.
What did I do? what like when you get caught stealing and you're like, no, I didn't have anything.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I had that before.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, dude, no, you're trying to sell this and no one's believing you.
No.
And then to go on later, post an apology, which I respect.
Absolutely.
Obviously, you should apologize for that. Absolutely. But then he's going and appealing it.
Yeah.
Which, it's like, you say sorry and then you immediately go, but I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. Which
So
doesn't make sense.
I'm sorry that you're mad. Is that what he's apologizing? Like
It's
it just could have been gone about a much better way.
Way better. And I think going back to what you were saying about us needing a right-handed bat right now.
Yeah.
Before we came on here, you were talking about the stats for us against lefty
Yeah,
pitching.
I have it right here.
Has
Against
been awful.
Against left-handed pitching this season, Seattle, they're hitting 236 average, OBP of 302, 404 slugging percentage, and an OPS at 706.
Man.
So, those are all, 0.100 under the league averages.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Look, I think I was very vocal about the fact that after we got Gino Naylor and, before his suspension, I was saying that, how we can make the most of these two guys is by having Robles rehab and get back as soon as possible to platoon him with Dominic Canzone, lefty bat.
Yeah.
Because, don't get me wrong, I love Dominic Canzone. Good, fan favorite type of guy. And a good hitter. Since we called him from Tacoma, he's been not gonna say he's been a superstar, but he's come through in big moments for us. Do I think that he's good enough to be an everyday right fielder that doesn't get platoons? No, don't think so.
Not yet.
I think that he is a platoon guy. You platoon with someone like Victor Robles.
Yeah.
And that's where I think I've also talked about the fact that I think it kind of makes Luke Raley not necessarily have a spot on the team because he's also a lefty bat and he's not a switch hitter. If he was a switch hitter, I'd be like, yeah, I'm just going to limit you to the right side and play you platoon with Dominic Canzone. That's great. But, like you're mentioning, our stats against lefties, we're not good enough to have an everyday guy, lefty, going lefty on lefty.
Right.
Because our stats show that we can't do that. It just doesn't
Not
make
even
sense.
just in that position, but across the board.
Oh, absolutely. Now, Josh Naylor, I think we were platooning him with Donovan Solano the past couple games. Makes zero sense to me. Makes me want to punch a wall. I know a lot of people are like Donnie Barrels, and they're like, oh man, he's Donovan Solano, man, he's really good. And I'm like, no, he's not. He's not the solution for first base. We should not be platooning him with Josh Naylor. Granted, I think Josh Naylor got banged up on his wrist a little bit, so maybe they're giving him rest, but still.
I think you guys are set up a little bit better at first base than we are, though.
Oh.
You don't want Rafael Devers at first base?
The Rafael Devers first base experience it's fun, man. Oh,
I love the big three of Dom Smith, Rafael Devers, and Wilmer Flores at first base. That's my favorite rotation.
Dude. No, I feel bad for Rafael Devers because, Alex Bregman shows up in Boston.
That was just a whole scuffed situation.
Yeah.
The Red Sox handled that terribly.
Horribly.
we were talking about before, I wouldn't even say like anyone really lost or won that trade, because like if you're looking on paper, the Giants won that trade. Obviously, it hasn't done much to help our record, and the Red Sox have been doing pretty good since they got rid of him. But like, it wasn't a bad trade. Adding Rafael Devers to your team is a goal for pretty much any team that can afford him. You know, I feel like if any team had the opportunity to go out and get him for a reasonable price, like the Giants did, you know, just giving up Kyle Harrison, Hicks, and then a couple prospects, one being a Eugene Emeralds, go Ems. But, you know, 4 players for the best player on the Boston Red Sox, perchance.
Yeah.
Healthy player.
Healthy.
At the time.
That's because I was thinking about Alex Bregman, and I have Alex Bregman on my fantasy team, and he was injured. For
Exactly, and that's the whole reason that they wanted to move Devers to first was
because he could play third. Who
did they have playing third? They had someone else playing third, and then he got hurt. Yeah. And then they asked Devers, and Devers was like, "Well, you told me that I should just throw away my glove for the season.
Yeah.
So why would I want to do that?"
Yeah, exactly. I mean, do I think Alex Bregman's a better defender at third base than Rafael Devers?
Sure.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think Rafael Devers is
I don't think anyone's going to fight you on that.
No, Rafael Devers is like the board, like, you know, you'll always hear me talk about it, where like baseball's the game where like third base and first base, you throw a sack of potatoes out there to play defense because he can just mash the baseball. Rafael Devers isn't quite to that extent, but he's kind of towing the line between like making some weird plays.
Yeah, I think the Giants are more comfortable with Wilmer at DH for a reason. I mean, he's been productive at that role. You know, he's especially at the start of this season. I mean, he was a leader in RBIs for a little bit. He's consistently been hitting well for the Giants, even if we haven't been hitting well as a team. Yeah. So I think just having him already have been there, he's going to get the nod more at DH. I would love to see Rafi play some third base, but we have Matt Chapman. You know, on paper, the Giants have a great team. It's the same with the Willie Adames signing. Yeah, he hasn't really been worth the money so far, but you had the chance to go out and get Willie Adames. And when he has been playing good, he's been on fire. Yeah. And so, like I was telling you before, yes, we're in a bit of a slump. It's okay. This is year 1 of the Buster Posey experience. Yep. Farhan's gone. And I trust in Buster Posey. I think he was able to make some big moves that the Giants seem to be scared to make beforehand. And so I just think that the new approach of going and getting the guys that you want, will we make the playoffs this year? Maybe not. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah. Next year, I'm very confident for Giants baseball.
Honestly. And same thing for Mariners baseball, too. I think if they haven't extended Naylor or Gino yet. Do I think they should extend Naylor? Mariners, 1,000%. Yeah. I think you can probably get rid of some guys and free up some space, some money to be able to sign him. I mean, the same thing, would I want to re-sign Gino? 1,000%. Yeah. Those are 2 guys who like I would want to see in a Mariners jersey long term. Do I think we're going to sign Gino long term? It depends. I mean,
how old is he?
I think he's maybe getting into his 30s, something like that.
If only we had computers at our hands.
No, if only we could just like Google this real quick.
Give me 1 sec.
Yeah, Jimmy, pull it up.
I'm doing some research.
Yeah. I mean, he's not old. He's not, but he is a bit of a veteran presence. That like, and he's like, and all like the mainstream media was like, as soon as Gino got to the Mariners, he's been in a big slump, and the Mariners haven't been winning as many games. It's like, dude, he's still Gino.
Our researchers just got back to us. He's 34 years old.
Hey.
So a little bit older than I thought.
Yeah.
So, well, okay, that brings up a curious question. If you were to re-sign Gino, how long?
Oof. So I'm trying to think of like when...
You're not going to be able to sign him to like a 5-6 year deal because that would have him playing into his 40s.
That is true. I think, he's not a DH, so it's not like one of those guys where it's like he's not getting worn down. He is playing defense, so he's probably getting grinded a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. Now, he did get that little bit of air conditioning down in Arizona, so maybe that revitalized a little bit.
But he's got the marine layer here. It's like it's some built-in air conditioning. You know what I'm saying? No,
no, that's just the cold.
Yeah, pretty much. I say he's 34 now. I think you re-sign him for... 5 years? That takes him until he's 39. Yeah. I say, like, most guys like him, by the time they get to about being 40...
Now, how much are you willing to pay him?
Oof. I mean...
How much cap space do you guys have to pay him?
I actually don't know. I mean, he's going to be worth a lot. I mean, considering how much we had to give up to get him.
True.
And I know everyone's talking about him just basically being a rental, and I don't like rentals because it builds hope in the team that they're going to be good, and then they're gone. And
That's how I felt about Jock Peterson with the Giants. I thought Jock was going to be there for 3 years at least.
Yeah, but
I miss the Jock Peterson era. That was a fun
honestly, now Jock Peterson's just kind of washed, man. Well, it's funny because like coming into this year, Jock Peterson's stats were like awful, and then we're playing the Rangers because he's on the Rangers now.
Yeah.
And like I think the last time we played them, he like balled out against us and was like went like 3 for 3 with two doubles, and I was like, where was this?
All of these old Dodgers players are having their flashes. You know, every now and then you have Cody Bellinger doing something, and you're like, oh, Cody Bellinger's still in the league.
Yeah.
You know, it's happening, and you know, Giants fan, so ultimate Dodgers hater. I will never miss an opportunity to talk smack on the Dodgers, but you know, the Jock Peterson experience. It's just kind of crazy to see how fast these guys, I don't want to say fall from grace, but like, and it could be just like the time that's passed, and it hasn't felt like it's been that long, but like I remember when Jock Peterson was playing for Team Israel in the World Baseball Classic, and that was a big sign, and that was a big deal for Israel, you know, and so it's like, you know, he was a hot free agent just 4 years ago, you know, it's kind of it's insane how fast you can come up but also go down. Like Yasiel Puig, it's been almost 10 years. Like
he's playing in Mexico, isn't he?
He's playing over. I don't know exactly where he's playing, but he's still doing the Yasiel Puig thing.
Yeah, which is I forgot about him.
Keep your tongue in your mouth, man.
Honestly, no. Talking about the Giants, talking about the Dodgers. Look, conference realignment. Commissioner of Baseball was on the Mariners broadcast and said that they are considering doing a geographical division realignment. Which, I mean, that's part of the reason why I wanted to have you on the show today to talk about this. You're a Giants fan.
Yeah, you sent me this like last week, just out of nowhere, and I was like, oh yeah, no, that's interesting.
Yeah, I had an ulterior motive.
And then I was like, hey, you know, if you ever want me on the show, just let me know. And you're like, oh, perfect. You want to talk about this? I was like, this man set me up.
Perfect timing. But no, I wanted to ask you a question because we were talking about off air some like potential conference realignments. Like, what are some like the most exciting ones you're kind of looking for?
So let's go over the one that you sent me first.
Yes,
we can talk about, because that one I had a couple problems with.
Yeah,
just. And then I did find another one on Reddit.
Yep.
We love Reddit.
Absolutely.
That I think sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm going to mute that so we don't get
volume
copy strict.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Volume on full blast.
So the one that you sent me, it's not in AL or NL. It's just regional locations. Yep. So the East Division is Red Sox, Mets, Yankees, Phillies. That's a good division.
That's a super competitive
That's
division.
A fantastic division.
Great teams in the league.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The North, Reds, Guardians, Tigers, Blue Jays.
That's also good.
That's a good division.
Yeah.
All right. Mid-Atlantic, Orioles, a Charlotte expansion.
Yep.
Pirates, Nationals.
Ooh.
I don't see a Charlotte expansion happening.
You don't think so?
Maybe in the future. I don't see that in the near future.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot bigger cities that deserve baseball teams.
Yeah.
You know, it would be a good opportunity to turn Charlotte into a bigger sports city. It could be good for the city. You know, they do have the Panthers and they have the Hornets.
Yeah.
So turning them into a big 3 city could be cool, but I think there's cities that deserve to be a big 3 city before them.
Yeah.
Seattle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being one of them.
Yeah. Bring back the Sonics, man.
Right. But honestly, Orioles, Pirates, Nationals, it could be competitive.
I think here's I
feel like that's going to be a very hit or miss. It's either going to be really good or really bad.
Maybe I'm overreacting to their season so far this year, but I think the Orioles are probably on the downswing, maybe heading towards a rebuild.
They had a 2-year upswing.
Yeah, I think now that their time in the sun is over, right? Pirates with Paul Skeens, what it sounds like is he doesn't want to be traded. Sounds like he wants to stay with Pittsburgh.
But do the Pirates want to keep them if they can get a better piece?
That's the thing.
Well, better, you know.
So the question,
the rookie of the year. Yeah. How can you bet better?
So the question is, in the future, are the Pirates going to be better than? I mean, I feel like it's been a long time since the Pirates were good.
It has.
Yeah.
They've always had like good pieces.
Yeah.
They've had O'Neal Cruz. They've had Andrew McCutchen when he was good. You know, they've constantly had 1 or 2 guys that were higher caliber players. Yeah. They just haven't been able to piece it together. Now they have the Paul Skeens. I think you know, they play in one of the most beautiful settings in baseball.
Absolutely.
Second to AT&T Park or Oracle, I guess it's now. Yeah. It's AT&T to me, just like T-Mobile is still Safeco to me.
Exactly. And the Kingdom to some people.
Exactly. Well, it's not the same building.
Not same building, but like same like feel.
Yeah, you know.
What you mean.
Kingdom was in Tacoma, right?
No, that was in Seattle. It was literally like a block away from T-Mobile.
Oh, the Tacoma Dome has its own. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was.
Oregon
excuse me on
Oregon
that.
native over here.
I'm a go listen to the Transplants podcast with me and Alex Dorfler now. We haven't started that yet, but Yeah, no, I'm an Oregonian. Southeast, Braves, Marlins, Nashville Rays. This is where it gets exciting for me.
Yeah, the expansion team.
I really like Nashville for an expansion.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Tennessee would be a great state for baseball.
Yep.
I think you got Louisville, Kentucky right there.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously not. It's probably a couple hours, but geographically they're very close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
There's already a baseball project to bring baseball to Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to call it the Stars after a Negro League team,
Yep.
which I think is fantastic. They've
Oh, yeah.
partnered with the Negro League Baseball Museum.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that would probably be the next best place besides obviously Portland. We talked about that a little bit.
Yep.
We can talk about that after we go through this.
Yep.
But because I do have stuff, we obviously have stuff to say about Portland.
Yep.
I've never said a bad thing about Portland.
Or the Portland Pickles.
The Portland Pickles are cool. I like Portland Pickles. But I really like the Nashville expansion. They do have 2 minor league teams in Memphis. There's one in Memphis, one in Nashville.
Yep.
You've got the Redbirds in Nashville, and you've got the Sound in Memphis. It might be swapped.
Yeah.
Memphis is the Redbirds.
Yep.
Nashville's the Sound.
Yep.
So I think that they would have to do something with the Nashville team. Obviously, probably be a relocation. I would be interested to see if they would build a brand new ballpark or if they would expand and renovate the minor league ballpark that's there. They'd probably build a new one, I'd assume. But I think Nashville would be a really, really good spot. I'm
Absolutely.
a big supporter there, and because I want to pursue my career in Tennessee. I think that'd be cool.
That'd be a good spot to relocate
So
to.
Braves, Marlins, Nashville, and the Rays.
Mm-hmm.
Marlins never really competitive.
No.
Rays, it's hit or miss.
Honestly, it feels like they've been like I feel like it
Well,
was,
they're also playing. I mean, you were talking about the A's earlier in the
Yeah.
playing in Sacramento. The Rays are also playing in a summer league ballpark
which is. I mean, I was talking to you about
or spring training. Sorry, not summer league.
No, but it's like the A's playing in the AAA ballpark.
Yeah.
Is like a lot of MLB players have like complained is like this. Is
Oh,
awful.
absolutely, I would too.
Yeah, because it's not only that the A's are playing there. They're also the AAA team that plays there is also playing there.
Yeah,
so it's
no.
getting twice.
It's
like,
the Giants AAA team.
Yeah.
It's Sacramento River Cats.
Yeah, so it's like getting just absolutely just the field's getting just demolished.
Yeah. Luckily, it's only a couple of years till that Vegas project, and we'll talk about that too because I'm excited to see what they do with that. Moving on to the last four, the Midwest: Cubs, Sox, Brewers, Twins. That's a good division.
Honestly,
The
Yeah.
Sox are the outlier,
Yeah.
but Twins, they're always kind of like in the picture, but never quite at the top. I feel like the Cubs obviously haven't really been able to do much since 2016.
No.
But with PCA, I think
Eh.
that they're looking pretty good. Brewers, obviously, the
They're-
most dominant team in baseball right now.
now the question is if that's going to be like sustainable. Is that like a blip? Is that like
I don't think it matters as long as they get in the postseason. I think this
Yeah.
Brewers team could be really scary in the postseason.
Oh, totally.
And so I think if they can just keep doing what they're doing, obviously I'm a Giants fan, so we started 18-3, and now we're 2 games under 500 or something like that. Multiples like 7 or 8 games back.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
Mm.
Southwest: Astros, Royals, Cardinals, Rangers. I don't know if I really like that division. The Royals and the Cardinals just kind of feel like they were thrown in because they didn't have anywhere else to go.
Yeah.
Pacific Coast: Rockies, A's, Mariners, Giants. Why are the Rockies in the Pacific Coast division?
It's so confusing because I know that I've been seeing different variations of this.
Yeah.
And I think I've only really seen one that's had the Rockies in the same division as the Mariners.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me. If you were to ask me, like if you're doing a purely geographic realignment, it should be just the Mariners.
Yeah.
The Portland team if they do an expansion team for that.
Right. And
And then-
that's on the next list.
Yeah.
The Reddit one that I
Yeah.
remember.
And should be just all the California teams. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe
Well, that goes into the last division, which is the West. That's the Diamondbacks, the Angels, the Dodgers, and the Padres. That's just the Southern California division.
pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like it should just be like that division would just be Mariners and California teams at the end of the day. The Rockies have no place being in that Pacific Northwest division.
So
honestly.
I don't hate that list, but I did find a better one on Reddit that I really liked, and we were talking
Yep.
about it before. It sounded a lot better to me.
Oh yeah.
If the Wi-Fi here likes to load.
Yeah.
There we
hit or miss.
go.
There we go.
All right. So it sticks with the AL/NL, which I really like because one of my biggest things is we were talking about we were talking about it. If you take away the AL and NL, oldest leagues since 1903.
Yeah.
Baseball traditionalists will hate that.
Yeah. If you want to not completely piss them off, you would want to keep at least the AL now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that there's been enough realignment that it's okay if a former NL team's in the AL. That doesn't bother me. But I think getting rid of AL, NL would get rid of a big part of the tradition. All-Star game, what would you do?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. All right. AL East, Yankees, Red Sox, Nationals, Orioles. I think that's a solid division.
Honestly.
Obviously, the Orioles are kind of hit or miss. The Nationals aren't bad.
The Nationals are young. They got a lot
They're
of young
young.
guys. I feel like that's been the case though, like forever, with like back with Bryce Harper and Juan Soto. It always feels like they have young guys, but then like they lose them.
Yeah. The big two in that one will be the Yankees and the Red Sox.
Oh,
obviously, having them together will be.
I feel like that's just like
you kind of have to keep them together.
Yeah, but it almost feels like a recipe for disaster because it's like they're just like,
excitement. It's a recipe for fun.
Exactly.
Baseball fans.
Sure.
AL North: Tigers, Guardians, Jays, White Sox.
I mean, you were mentioning it before. The White Sox are the outlier in that.
Yeah.
That's a competitive. The
Absolutely.
Blue Jays have been good.
It's been cool to see the Tigers and the Guardians especially come back because for the longest time they were kind of obviously the Guardians in the World Series against the Cubs in 2016.
Yeah.
But that was their first appearance. That would have been their first World Series. It was the same time as the LeBron Cavs won their first championship in 50 years.
Yeah.
You know, like Cleveland hasn't had the best luck in sports. So it's good to see them on the come up. AL South: Rangers, Royals, Astros, Rockies. I think the Rockies are a little north, but I feel like that's closer to being accurate than having them on the Pacific Coast because they're smack dab in the middle of the country.
Yeah.
They are more towards the southern side, so I'm okay with them being in a league. You know, they're right by Oklahoma, they're right by Texas. I think that's a reasonable division.
Yeah.
AL West, I like this one a lot. Mariners, Angels. I know you like this one.
Yeah.
Mariners, Angels, A's, and Portland expansion team.
Dude, let me tell you. I mean, it's gonna be. Look, besides the Mariners, because I mean, I'm sitting here and say the Mariners are great.
Right.
Yeah, but the Athletics and the Angels and a new baseball team, which is going to be handicapped by the fact that they're brand new and they're in Portland.
So this is where we can get into some conversations with because that's two expansion teams, or I guess relocation for the A's.
Yeah, they're going to Las Vegas. Although, because that does scare me a little bit with the A's going to Las Vegas is big market.
Absolutely.
I don't know how much of a market there is for baseball in Las Vegas, but at the end of the day, it's Las Vegas.
It does bring up an interesting question with all of the like Emmanuel Clase A with the gambling stuff. You know, how is the league going to handle that?
Yeah, and the gambling capital of the world.
Exactly, because clearly they haven't been able to do too great of a job of that so far.
Yeah, no. I think that the thing I'm a little worried about is that like Las Vegas obviously is going to be able to pay their players.
Absolutely.
Go get better players. Am I going to sit here and say that because they're moving to Las Vegas, all of a sudden the A's are going to turn into a dynasty? No. They're at the end of the day, they are still the A's, and they might not even be the A's anymore. They might change the name if they head to Las Vegas. I'm not sure.
Really.
But still, I think that division with the Angels, who, dude, if you're an Angels fan in 2025, you're actually just like
shout out Mason Fischel.
Yeah, you're in picture.
You don't know Mason Fischel, but Mason Fischel's an A's fan.
Dude,
former Cable 8 alum.
There you go.
Working for the San Francisco 49ers right now.
Hey.
Yeah, he was a WSU football video guy.
Oh yeah.
Went to the UFL last season.
Dude.
He was a part of the championship team. I think it was the Defenders.
Oh,
and then right after that, got an offer, and he's doing video for the Niners now.
Dude, that's
go Niners, bang bang.
If you want to get into sports media, go
WSU,
man.
Go Cougs,
go Cougs. The Murrow College, man. It's where you want to be.
All right, next let's talk about that Portland expansion team.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I know you have feelings about this.
I do have feelings about this. Obviously, an Oregon native. Never said a bad thing about Portland.
Absolutely.
Not a big Portland fan, but never said a bad thing about Portland. I think Portland is a great sports town. Right now, they only have the Blazers. I think Portland is a passionate fan base.
Absolutely.
Obviously. I think Blazers fans have been put through a lot, and I think recent years that they were right there.
Yeah.
On the come up. They were doing really good. That series against Oklahoma City where Damian Lillard hits the dagger in Paul George's face, that Blazers fans were convinced that this was their time.
Yeah.
And then it all kind of falls apart. Scoot Henderson hasn't been playing as well as you want him to. You get rid of Anthony Simons. Obviously, you now have Dame back, but at what cost? You don't have him for another year as he rehabs his Achilles. Portland sports fans need something else.
Yes.
They have the pickles. West Coast League, summer baseball. They play in a Portland City Park. It's a great environment. There's a thing about summer baseball. Portland Pickles really lean into the fan experience of it.
Oh yeah.
They're a little bit of a raunchy team.
Yeah.
It's kind of the only thing. Portland's the only place you could pull off something like that. I feel like to the level that they do. I think the Pickles have a very dedicated fan base, but I feel like a lot of Pickles fans are just Pickles fans. They're not necessarily baseball fans.
I was talking to you about this. Like, I feel the same way like about Dodgers fans. Like, there are like a lot of Dodgers fans aren't baseball fans.
You get to talk bad
fans.
about the Dodgers fans?
I
Let's
know.
go. All right.
I will talk bad about Dodgers fans all day, every day.
Dodgers fans. The Dodgers are the biggest fan base that I've seen because I like to talk smack with random people.
Exactly.
You know, it's a fun thing. You bond over sports, smack talking.
Yeah.
The most people I've seen wearing a hat for a team that had no idea anything about the team.
Zero ball knowledge.
Zero ball knowledge. Dodgers fans, for the most part, are frauds. They cling to a championship when there were no fans. I'll give them last year. They finally got one.
Yes.
To my chagrin. Am I over the NLDS in 2021? No. Well, he did not swing. Gabe Morales made a terrible call, and he admitted it. Giants could have won the World Series that year. But
they didn't.
Dodgers fans, I feel like I don't think it's the same as Pickles fans because I feel like Dodgers fans, they're there for the game when they're there.
Absolutely.
Pickles fans, they're there for the game, but they're there for the beer. They're there for the food. They're there for the environment. You know, I've been to a Pickles game and they had a 4-person New Orleans jazz like horn section walking around the stadium just playing, just walking around. There were bubbles blowing. It's a fantastic environment for baseball for that kind of thing and for summer league especially. Would it translate to a major league level? I don't know.
Yeah. It's if they have that market for an actual MLB team, or if they have it for like a summer ball team, like a Savannah Bananas type like baseball team,
right?
Like that feels like more what there might be the market there for.
It would definitely be more that speed.
Yeah.
Moving on to the NL.
Yes.
New York Mets, Phillies, Reds, Pirates.
Well, I mean the Mets and the Phillies will be pretty competitive, and then the rest of those teams I don't think are going to be that.
Not really.
No, not really.
NL North. Cubs, Brewers, Cardinals, Twins. That's a good conference.
Cubs and Brewers, man. Brewers.
Twins?
And Twins.
Cardinals. They're kind of always like.
So look, they're like in sports. There's always teams in whether it's baseball or hockey or basketball or football. I forget they exist. The Cardinals are one of those teams.
Which is funny because they're one of the most successful franchises in baseball.
Yeah. But it's like I mean, part of it might be that like the Mariners don't play the Cardinals that much,
right?
But like I always like forget that I forgot like St. Louis has a team.
Well, I think part of that is that they are they're a one sports city now.
Yeah, that's it.
They don't have the Rams anymore.
Yep.
They have the Chiefs in Kansas City, but that's
yeah,
not St. Louis.
Exactly.
So it's an interesting place. Cardinals fans, I feel like, are very dedicated.
Yeah.
Cardinals fans. I have a friend who's a Cardinals fan. Moved to Arizona. Now he's a Diamondbacks and a Cardinals fan, and so we just make fun of him because we're like, you've been a Diamondbacks fan for 2 years. Calm down. Your first year in Arizona was a year they went to the World Series.
Yeah.
Stick with your Cardinals. Stick with the pain.
Yeah.
But I feel like, I mean, you could say this about any team. They all have the opportunity to do something, except for like the Marlins and the White Sox.
Well, yeah, the Marlins, White Sox,
Rockies too.
I'm just saying that's the thing where it's like I'll sit here and say like when the Mariners do bad, I'll be like the Mariners suck, but we don't suck that bad.
But you got to remember, just a couple years ago, the Rockies were good.
Yeah.
They were they were top of the. Obviously, they never quite made it, but they were a promising team. They were one of those teams that you talked about when you talk about the NL West. The Rockies were one of in the conversation, and the Diamondbacks weren't, and the Giants weren't.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's completely switched, and so it's an interesting dynamic. NL South: Braves, Marlins, Rays, Stars, Nashville. So this one includes the Nashville team too.
Yeah.
So I feel like that Nashville project is going to be the most promising.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think there's
it'll be probably 10 years down the line, but
no, I mean, and the thing too is like, I think with the expansion, because they feel like hockey being like the most recent one for like expansion teams, right? They kind of changed the rules after like I'm still salty about this that like Las Vegas, when they were expanding that team, just like it was like the Wild West of like, oh yeah, we're just gonna go pick up Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah, I was literally gonna say.
Marc-Andre Fleury.
I don't know much about hockey, but I know Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah, it's like we got him. We got like, and there was like they picked up so many talented guys. Ellers, I think was the guy's name they picked up. And it was
this is the part where I know nothing.
this is where the puck knowledge just falls off.
This is where the puck knowledge falls off.
But I mean, they just built a super team and made it to the Stanley Cup their first year. And then the Kraken are the next expansion team, and it's like, oh, you know what? Why don't we just make it really hard for you guys to get good players? And so it's like we don't. I mean, I think the best guy we got, who's been with us for all 5 years now.
It's been 5 years.
Yeah,
Wow.
is Jared McCann.
Yeah.
And Jared McCann's been great. I know you might not probably do. I mean, like Jared McCann's been like our point.
I will
leader.
sit here and be your yes man all day. Absolutely. Jared McCann's the man,
Oh
dude.
yeah, I appreciate it. No, but it's like
Savior
that.
of Seattle.
I wonder if like for this expansion for the MLB, if they're going to kind of take a page out of the NHL's book and just like make the rules such that it's hard for maybe that Nashville team or potentially that Portland team to be able to get good players and actually be good. And if they're going to end up being like the Mariners, where it's like horribly bad for a while.
Well, the Diamondbacks and the Rays were the last two expansion teams, and that was in the 90s.
Yeah.
So not much. I mean, there hasn't been movement in baseball for 25 years.
It's been stagnant.
Yeah. I think that could be a very, very good addition. I think that as much as people hate on Rob Manfred, and as much as I'll agree, he's not a perfect commissioner by any means, he has done a lot to revitalize baseball and bring baseball back. Obviously, like I said, there's a lot to criticize about Rob Manfred.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
is he the best commissioner of the Big Four? No, not at all. He's probably fourth.
Yeah.
But he has done a lot to bring baseball back into the public and like the conversation, national conversation. And so I think that this is something right up his alley that I think he would definitely do. I think that because it could be disastrous, because it could go wrong, because there was that Wild West situation, like you said, with the NHL, I think that's going to make them just be that much more focused and that much more detailed on how they do this.
Yeah.
And so I'm hopeful that this is going to be a smooth, maybe not smooth because it's expansion. Obviously, everything's messy. I think it'll be as smooth as possible. I think that they're going to work out the kinks that they can identify.
Yeah.
And just like everything, there's always going to be something that goes wrong, but I'm very hopeful for an MLB expansion.
Yeah.
And I think that they have the opportunity to do it very right.
Oh, absolutely. Dude, it's going to be pretty exciting. I mean, I'm really looking forward to it.
And NL West, it's just Dodgers, Giants, Padres, Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
I think that's a great division.
Yeah.
Getting the Rockies out of there makes it that much more of a competitive division. I think the NL West will be a top division.
No, absolutely. Matti, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you so much for
talking some
having me.
baseball. I mean, this is what I want to talk about. Just get some good opinions on
Absolutely.
here. So, I mean, hey, we're going to hit a break. We're going to come back in just a little bit. Don't go away. We're going to be talking some Seahawks with preseason coming up.
Follow me on Instagram at sar.wazoo.
Absolutely. Good sports content over there, man. Come on. But we'll head to a break real quick. Don't go away. You're listening to Slice of Seattle on KUGR. We'll be right back.
Of Seattle on KUGR Cougar College Radio.
Welcome back, everybody, to Slice of Seattle on KUGR Cougar College Radio. We just got done talking to Matti Tenney about baseball, and he is back in the booth to talk about the Seahawks. But we also got a special guest as well, Gaige Anderson, sports reporter for the Daily Evergreen, student here at Washington State University. Gaige, how are we doing today?
I'm doing good. Good.
Has he had up early today for the staff meeting for the Daily Evergreen?
Yeah, just getting ready to write some articles for the year, so I'm excited.
Honestly. So, Matti, look.
Big Seahawks fan over here.
Big Seahawks fan.
Big Seahawks fan over here.
Yeah, we do have to take a second to apologize to all the Seattle fans.
I would like to put out a heartfelt apology for saying that the Kingdom may have been in Tacoma. I was very wrong. In my defense, I'm an Oregonian. I did live in Seattle for more years than I'd like to admit to have made that mistake. But I do apologize, and I 100% do know that the Kingdom was not, in fact, in Tacoma.
Nah, absolutely. Don't worry, everybody. We are banning Matti from the Slice of Seattle podcast. He will never be back. Okay, it's a.
Well, you're welcome for the name.
Absolutely. Gaige, did you know that the Kingdom was in the same footprint, or is in the same footprint as Lumen Field, or it's vice versa? Actually, Lumen Field's in the same footprint as Kingdom.
No, I did not. I did not know that.
You're a Seahawks fan. What you gotta
That
know
makes
this
me
stuff.
feel so much better.
Yeah, he's
That's
like
vindication for
he's
me.
like a big Seahawks fan. You didn't know that, dude.
No, I didn't.
Honestly, no, my dad was clowning me, man. We were talking about that. He just kept texting me. He's just like, you don't know your ball knowledge. And I was just like, dude, it's
Don't know ball.
don't know ball, apparently. But no.
Every opportunity is an opportunity to learn.
Exactly. That's what that's what I'm saying every day.
That's why we're at college.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But no, hey, let's talk some Seahawks. Look, we're getting into two preseason games under our belt already. You tie the game against I was about to say Oakland. I'm so used to calling them the Oakland Raiders. Same thing with Athletics.
You might get a text about that one too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But now they're going to be the Las Vegas Raiders. Then you also pick up a win against the Chiefs, which I mean, like, dude, Gaige, I think I was talking to you about that. It's like, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's preseason, but you beat the Chiefs in preseason.
Okay, I get it. Clown on the Niners fan.
Yeah, no, the Chiefs are good. You're playing backups, but still, these are like the backups to one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah, absolutely. And sure, Patrick Mahomes didn't play in that game, but like the defense for the Seahawks was so locked down in that game. And I mean, like, I won't talk too much about it because I've already talked enough about it. But like that opening drive for that Chiefs game was just run the ball, man, run the ball. Oh gosh, I mean, Charbonnet looked fantastic, and we'll get more about that running back situation too with K9 and Sharby getting later into the episode. So that's stay tuned for that if that's what you're here for. I mean, look. Today they have a preseason game. Literally, I think it's just started at 1 o'clock against Green Bay. And they were doing practices in Green Bay with their team. I think a few days ago, they broke out into a fight during practice. And I kind of want to bring you guys on and talk about this. I mean, like, obviously, apparently, there is some bad blood between the Seahawks and the Packers. So I don't know what's going on there, but
Football is back.
yes.
Yes, it is. It'll be interesting. This game will be interesting because they're going to be at each other's throats, hopefully. And that's what makes good football, baby.
Yeah, honestly. And, you flash back to last year, like, we played the Packers in Sunday Night Football. They embarrassed us. Like, that was an embarrassing loss for us. I think I don't even remember how many points we put up, but it was, like, an egregiously low amount. And don't get me wrong, the Packers were good last year. We weren't bad, but Packers were probably better than us last year. But I think that might definitely play a role in why there might be some bad blood because they beat us at home in Sunday Night Football where they had, like, I don't think it was record attendance for Packers fans at Lumen Field, which is like not supposed to happen. We're supposed to be the best environment for NFL football.
Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Best scenario for college. No, I'm playing. No, but as you know, I feel like I can talk about this because the Niners have one of the highest away team attendances. Like, we travel very well. When they play in Los Angeles, it's called Levi's South, and it's like, I think 67% of tickets were sold to Niners fans last year. It's something crazy. It's crazy the amount of takeover the Niners have no matter where they go. And so it does play a really big factor. And when you have a rivalry like that's honestly not even budding because it's been, you guys have the postseason history. You guys have now stuff happening preseason. I think that this is going to be a really great rivalry. I think it's going to be great for football. It's going to be great for the NFC. But that is a really big factor is how well your fans travel.
Yeah.
And in a place like Lumen Field, which obviously it's one of the hardest settings to play in, just purely noise factor.
Yeah.
If an opposing team can turn that noise factor down just by having more fans
bit.
there,
Especially at Lumen.
that's a huge benefit for the away team. And that takes away the home field advantage that is Lumen Field.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would put the Packers like one of our biggest rivalries outside of our conference.
Yeah.
We've faced them so many times in the postseason where we've beat them, they've beat us in like these epic manners. I believe the Fail Mary was against them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
What's it like losing to the Packers in the playoffs? I don't know about that.
No, we don't really lose to the Chiefs though.
Yeah, we don't lose to the Chiefs.
We make it to the Super Bowl.
Well,
Okay.
oh, actually, I was joking with Connor Orr about this too. I mean, 21st century Seahawks Super Bowl wins one. Yeah. San Francisco 0. Yep.
Yeah.
So
how many appearances? How many playoff wins?
That's good.
How's CMC's ankles?
Great. He's in midseason form. Also, it's his knees and Achilles and everything else. But we just got Brian Robinson Jr. We just traded for him from the Commanders.
This is why we don't let a Giants fan up in the, or not Giants fan, 49ers fan. See, I don't even know.
Wrong sport.
I don't even know the name of your team, man.
And more texts coming in.
Get these guys off the air. No, but hey, I mean, I'm looking forward to that game. I mean, we get done with this, and then we're gonna go. I'm probably at some point watch that today.
Yeah.
I kind of just want to ask you guys about this Seahawks team. Look, it feels like the Seahawks have been grossly underestimated by a lot of mainstream media. Like, and I mean, I'm saying that because I'm a Seahawks fan, and I just feel like it's like, why aren't we getting enough attention? But it's like, I feel like we've been not necessarily clowned on, but like for having Sam Darnold, I think he's gonna be our starting quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think that part of it is that like our defense isn't getting enough attention. Like our defense is good. Really
It's good. I think a lot of the clowning, especially this last season, came from because a lot of Seahawks were saying this is the second coming of the Legion of Boom.
Yeah.
And I think that's just such a bold statement to make because of how, and this is coming from a Niners fan, how legendary the Legion of Boom was, how dominant the Legion of Boom was.
Yeah.
I just think that it's poor taste to try and compare what's happening right now in Seattle to just that peak of domination.
Yeah, I don't think you'll ever get a defense like the Legion of Boom ever again. They need to have their own personality to be a good team, and so it's really going to depend. I think this year the Seahawks record on our offense because I think our defense is going to be really consistent, and our offense is so up in the air this year.
And that's really all you can ask for from a defense. I mean, especially in a competitive division, all you can ask that is your defense does their job. At the least, it's going to be about the points scored. All 4 teams in the NFC West have solid offensive pieces, and they all have the potential to do something great. Obviously, Marvin Harrison Jr. did not work out very well last year for the Cardinals. Yeah, he has the opportunity to do something big this year. We've seen a lot of players that were supposed to be good kind of have a down year and then bounce back and have a great year. I think that there's a lot of potential, especially in the division. The defenses are I feel like they're set in stone. We know exactly what to expect from each team. The offenses are the big question. Is CMC going to be hurt? When does Ayuk come back for the Niners? For the Seahawks, do you play Drew Lock? Do you play Sam Darnold? Do you give Milroe a shot first year? Probably not. Do you start K9? Do you start Charbonnet? What do you do on your receiver core now that you don't have DK? So I feel like all the questions in this division are all on offense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we'll have to see how Milroe turns out for the Seahawks.
Totally.
Like they're starting him, I believe, for the entire Green Bay game. So they have some confidence in him, but also it is the last preseason game, and so we do see a lot of teams just sit out their starters for the last preseason game.
Now, if they do have a fight today, what about Milroe's small hands?
Oh,
No, I'm playing.
he's scrappy though.
I mean,
feel like he'd be good.
What's the best? Okay, as a Niners fan, I just want to hear your guys. What's the ceiling for the Seahawks this year? What's the floor for the Seahawks?
Okay, let me tell you. I mean, I'm not going to be a delusional Seahawks fan and say like, man, we're like Super Bowl contenders. Like we have Gray Zabel, and have, Sam Darnold's going to be great, and Cooper Kupp's still got I'm not or Jalen Milroe's looking like the next generation. I'm not going to sit here and be like we're going to be like Super Bowl contenders. Don't think that. Do I think we could make playoffs and maybe win a playoff game? I think that's the ceiling for the Seahawks. I don't think we're going to go that far in playoffs. Mm-hmm. But I feel like there's like a lot of people who are like predicting like some of the predictions were like the Seahawks are going to be dead last in the NFC West. I'm like that's like
I don't see that happening.
That's not our floor. I think our floor is just missing out on playoffs. If you ask me.
So like record wise, what are you thinking?
Man, I'm trying to think. What did we finish? 10-7 last season. Yep. I think this season we probably finish. Ooh, because I think we're gonna make. I think we make playoffs this year. Maybe 12-5. Just like we win 2 more games, maybe sneak in. I don't think the rest of the NFC West is going to be that good. I mean, not to hate on the 49ers, but like I don't think you guys are going to be that good this year.
I don't think we'll be as good as we have been the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's been a common joke. The window's closed.
Yeah.
I think that we're still definitely contenders. I think we still have a lot of major pieces. We spent a lot of money in the offseason. Mm-hmm. New deal for Kittle, new deal for Brock, new deal for everybody. Mm-hmm. But, the Rams are going to be good.
Yeah,
the Niners and the Seahawks are going to be competitive.
Yeah.
The Cardinals, I feel like, are the big question mark in the division.
Yeah.
How's Kyler Murray going to play? His window's running out on, because obviously he's a freak athlete.
Oh, totally.
But injuries and just hasn't been able to get it done for the Cardinals. They've had the potential. Obviously, I'm talking as a Niners fan, even though we gave up a fourth quarter lead to them like twice last year. I felt I took a nap in the third quarter of that game because I thought we were good. And we lost that game. So I think the Cardinals are the big question mark, I think, which makes it that much more competitive for the Niners and the Seahawks, which, again, great for football.
Yeah.
I think the Seahawks-Niners rivalry, it never really went away, but I feel like it's just going to be that much more fueled by the fire of who's going to finish second in this division.
Yeah, I think the Seahawks ceiling and bottom are so spread out because I feel like we could finish 12-5. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Best case scenario.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, we only get 4 wins in the whole season.
Really?
Yeah, and I
What's your guys' schedule strength? Do you know?
Ooh,
Because I know, like, the Niners, we have the easiest schedule strength.
I think I was looking at ours when they released it a little while ago.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Gaige.
No, you're all. I mean, because I can't remember it straight off the top of my head, but I remember sitting and thinking to myself, like, we've got stretches where we're playing really bad teams, where it's
Yeah.
like you can like go on like win streaks, and then we have a stretch where we play really good teams, where it's like. It's hard to say. I'd say like we're about middle of the pack in terms of difficulty. Like it's
Okay.
not super easy and not super hard.
Right.
But it's like it's just I think it's like just little pockets of like good teams and pockets of bad teams,
Okay.
basically.
Yeah, I don't think that there's enough information. I don't think preseason gave us enough information on the Seahawks to be able to be like, we're either going to be really good or we're going to be really bad.
Yeah.
And so we'll have to see for the first game of the season. I believe it's going to be really important because I feel like it's going to determine if we can beat the 49ers,
Yeah.
then we're going to be like a pretty good team.
Yeah.
If we lose the 49ers in our first game, I feel like we're going to
I
be
forgot it's the
finishing
season opener.
middle of the pack, and like the team chemistry is going to be really important in the first game as well because it's early.
Yeah.
But then I feel like next game we have like the Saints. I feel like we should be beating them easily.
Oh, yeah.
And then we go against the Steelers, and so the beginning of the season.
DK
is gonna
revenge
be
game.
really-
Yeah.
it's going to
So-
be really important.
So as Seahawks fans going into this season, we know that it's probably going to be Sam Darnold. He had a pretty good year in Minnesota, pretty great year at Minnesota
They
last
paid
year.
him.
Was the Niners backup the year before, so we kind of set that up. But I digress. But there is the question of, is it going to be Darnold? Is it going to be Locke? Because I feel like the Seahawks have the strongest quarterback room in the sense of any 3 of their options could be the starter.
I mean,
So
look,
in a confidence way going into the season, knowing that there's that question at quarterback, and there's, well, I guess it's not too bad of a question compared to like the running back position, but with these questions on offense, how does that make you guys feel going into the season, especially at the beginning?
I mean, look, I have faith in Mike McDonald. I think he's a good coach, and I think the fact that he's kind of been given not necessarily like a glowing endorsement of Sam Darnold, but he's basically never wavered from the idea that Sam Darnold is our day one starter. And I think the real debate is between Milroe and Drew Lock
Of who's QB2?
of who's QB2. And when we were talking Cougs, I was telling you about this where it's like I feel like Zevi Eckhouse and Drew Lock to me are like good comparisons where it's like I know what you're gonna get from him.
Yeah.
He's like if he were to be a backup, he'd be a really good backup.
Right.
But do I think he's
Kind of like the Sam Darnold for the Niners.
Yeah,
he was the best backup in the league.
Yeah, exactly. But like, do I view him as like a superstar? Like, holy cow,
Oh,
he should win that starting spot? No, I don't think so.
Okay, when you put it like that, going back to the Zevi, like I understand that point. If you'd made that point, I would have been
Yeah.
like, yeah, I get that, where it's like you know what you're gonna get, but he's not a superstar.
Yeah, I don't think Drew Lock will ever start for
Sam Darnold's not
anyone.
that superstar either, though.
No,
Eh.
I think we're gonna see it's gonna be Sam Darnold, and then it's really just gonna depend on him, and then it'll be Drew Lock and then Milroe, and then they'll develop Milroe over the next couple years
Yeah.
to where
I like
he
that
can
idea.
be the starter for the Seahawks if he can learn to throw the ball a little bit better
Totally.
and get in that role of being a leader for this team.
You know what I think, Jay? What I think? What Milroe has to say about this? Let the naysayers know.
Let a naysayer know.
Yeah, yeah.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think that this Green Bay game because Milroe's getting big moments, big opportunities. He has opportunity to like ball out in this Green Bay game, but he could also like throw like 3 interceptions or something like that and get. It's like,
But the thing is that it's preseason.
totally.
So if a player plays good, you always hear it. It's like, if you have someone balling out in preseason, hey, remember it's preseason.
Yeah.
But also, if someone's not playing good, obviously that's the chance you get to make your roster spot.
Exactly.
But if we're going to hold that kind of weight with playing good in the preseason, we got to hold it with playing bad too. It's got to
Totally.
be equal. Preseason, it's important, but it's very hard to make predictions and go off of preseason because it's such a controlled environment.
Yeah.
Another note I'll make is about Milroe is that the media really likes him.
Oh, absolutely.
They post him a lot.
Well, I would too if my draft pick was a national champion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah, no. And one of the questions I want to ask you guys, with the QB situation is like, if you're running the Seahawks and you can pick any QB, no money requirements. I mean, like you can just go out and get them. Who would you want to see, or who you think would be the best fit for this Seahawks team?
So I'm gonna go a little wild here.
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Daniels.
Hey.
I think Jaden Daniels would fit in really good on the Seahawks team.
Okay.
He's kind of got that movement, and he can kind of throw the ball pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And he's young. And I feel like right now, as the Seahawks, they need young players.
Mm-hmm.
We are not in a spot where we're going to be making a Super Bowl every year.
Nope.
We're not going to be like getting far in the playoffs. We need young players that we can develop that can get behind this young coach as well.
Absolutely.
So that they can grow together. Because the part about football nowadays is if your coach comes in, he plays 2 bad years, he's out. The Seahawks need to lock in and put their faith behind
Drew
this guy.
lock in.
Drew lock in.
Sorry.
And put their faith behind the coach.
Yeah.
For years and years, not just a couple. So Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels.
I have 2 possible options, and they're both from the AFC North
Okay.
or East.
Yeah.
I think Justin Fields would be a really good fit in Seattle.
Yes.
I think he would have been a great fit on the Niners. I wanted us to pick him over Trey Lance.
Where's he at right now?
He's at New York Jets.
Oh, yes, he's in that. Yeah.
I think that he could be a really, really great option for the Seahawks. My second one, Drake May.
Oh.
Really?
I think Drake May, he doesn't have quite the shifty, quick running ability that a guy like Justin Fields has, but I feel like the Seahawks, even with Geno Smith, he wasn't that mobile.
No, not really.
I think a guy like Justin Fields could definitely elevate the Seahawks offense, and that's why I like him, because he does have that dual threat option. But if the Seahawks want to go with something more comfortable, I'd say, I think a Drake May would be a really great option. A young guy, he's still kind of getting the reins in control. He finally got his opportunity last season to kind of start getting things. Wasn't as good as people wanted him to be, but he has a lot of potential, and I think if you put him in the right system, that could happen. And if he's throwing to Cooper Kupp, if he's throwing to Jackson Smith and Jigba, I think he could be a really solid sleeper pick, but Justin Fields is definitely my top pick for the Seahawks.
No, I like it. And I'm going to go a little bit bold. And kind of contrary to you, with not going with the young guy, I'm going to go with holy crap, my brain is Josh Allen. Oh my gosh, I completely blanked on his name there for a second. Yeah. Josh Allen. I mean, look, I like him. I think his vibe fits with the Seahawks a lot. I think he's a bit of a mobile quarterback. Not the most mobile. I mean...
No, but he can make it work.
But I think he's more mobile than Darnold is. Darnold
Absolutely.
is not a mobile quarterback at all.
Well, he's also known for eating hits when he does run.
Exactly.
Josh Allen's a monster.
Yeah.
I think Josh Allen would make any team a Super Bowl contender.
Oh, totally. He makes the whole team better when he's
When you said going away from the young guy, I thought you were going to say Matthew Stafford. Which... Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff would be good for the Seahawks,
I would
too.
take Goff over Stafford.
I think obviously he's not the scrambler. Going back to that, I think the Seahawks have done good, or not good. They've made do with non-mobile quarterbacks. You had Russ, who was dual threat. He could run, and then you bring in Geno, and then you bring in Drew Lock, and then you bring in these. So they're kind of been on a trend of quarterbacks who weren't known for their feet, and I think if they lean into that and they build around a quarterback that's more of a pocket presence.
Yeah.
I think it could be a recipe for success. You have a guy like Njigba who can run down the field. You have a guy like Cooper Kupp that can be that check down guy, that can be the crosser guy, that can play the slot if he needs to. And so if you have a pocket presence like Jared Goff just dishing out balls, that's another fantastic option for the Seahawks.
Yeah. No, I absolutely love it. Last little bit we want to talk about here is, and we kind of prefaced it at the start of the segment, is the running back situation for the Seahawks. I've just heard a lot of chatter about this debate between, is it going to be K9 or is it going to be Charbonnet, who is the starting running back for the Cougs? Not the Cougs. Holy cow.
More text.
It's been a long day.
We got to set up a text line just for...
I swear, dude. Just for angry... Yeah, no. For the Seahawks, if you're asking me, I think that it's not a debate. I think it's going to be K9.
I agree.
I think Charbonnet is a really good backup.
Definitely.
I think he can come in because obviously K9's had injury problems, so I think...
That was going to be my biggest point, was that the only inconsistency with Kenneth Walker is his injury status.
Yeah, he'll get... I mean, that's like... it's almost like one of those things where it's like death taxes and Kenneth Walker getting hurt. He's gonna get hurt, not like season ending, but he's gonna get hurt where you need somebody to come in.
He will miss games.
He will miss games. You need a guy like Charbonnet who can come in and he's not going to be a one-to-one comparison to K9, but he will be pretty damn close where you can get some good games out of him.
How do you feel about Charbonnet as a third down back?
I like it. My opinion for the Seahawks running back room is I feel like they would benefit very well from running kind of what Detroit does.
Yeah.
Where they have like the two main guys, so they don't really have a starting running back. They split the reps a lot. And so I think you put Charbonnet in situations where he needs to put his head down and run through people.
Yeah.
While Kenneth Walker is this elusive guy that can get to the outside really fast and get downfield. I like both of them a lot, but Kenneth Walker by far, if we're picking one starter, needs to start. Yeah. He's the better running back right now. He's just injury prone.
Yeah.
I wonder too if you split up the reps like that, if maybe you kind of stop Kenneth Walker from getting hurt. If he's not playing a whole game, you get to get some rest. You're not getting hit as much. You split that up with Charbonnet, you're able to get the production from both those guys without Charbonnet, without K9 getting hurt.
I think all of these points are very valid, and I think that there's a lot of possibility. I think the biggest question, both for quarterback and running back, is your guys' offensive line.
Oh, dude.
Absolutely.
I think, as much as I love Abe Lucas, go Cougs.
Oh, yeah.
He's been hurt. I'd love to see him have a full healthy season because I think he can be one of the most dominant offensive linemen in the league. He's a strong guy. He's down with his fundamentals. Obviously, I'm biased. But did I want him to be a Niner? Yes. But did I put a 72 Lucas Niners jersey in my Carton Fanatics the night before the draft? Yes. Doesn't matter. But the offensive line has just been killing you guys. And I think that there's a huge question at center for you. I think there's a question at the guards. And I think it doesn't matter who you have at quarterback or running back if your line can't protect them.
Yeah.
And going back to the injury thing, if your running back's getting lit up every play because the defense is shedding blocks, it doesn't matter how you divide the snaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think our offensive line is important. I think with Gray Zabel, he's good, but he's young. He's never played in the NFL before.
I mean, it's the same thing when Cross came in and everyone was like, he's going to be the next guy.
Yeah.
And then him and Lucas, same draft class, they were both hurt.
It's just, it really depends on the offensive line and if they can keep building that because it's been so bad in the past. And it's the reason we can't get anything going. And so I think it's one of the big reasons they probably got rid of Carroll.
Oh,
because
the
offensive line was just falling apart and we could not pick up wins. We could not run the ball anymore.
Yeah. No, you
guys had trouble running the ball before.
Okay.
Look, I love Gray Zabel. I think that's such a great draft pick for us in the first round. Watching him in preseason, he's just bullying NFL players, like picking them up and throwing them on the ground.
Yeah.
And these are his first reps in the NFL.
Shout out Abdul Carter eating that chip block.
Yeah. I mean, look. So do I think that Gray Zabel is going to be a really, really, really good O lineman for us? Absolutely. I think he's going to. That's helping the offensive line problems that we've had. Do I think it's enough? No. One guy on your O line is not going to be enough to solve that problem. But I think it's a good step. So, yeah.
Especially with a young guy, it's important to have veterans around him to help him build up. I think that's why the Niners, we've had our offensive line problems for sure. But for the most part, when you have a guy like Trent Williams on your team to mentor not just the linemen, because he's a leader in the entire locker room.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's the problem with having younger guys and more. I wouldn't say the Seahawks are rebuilding.
Not quite.
I would say it's more of just like a revamp.
Yeah.
They don't really have that veteran presence. Cooper Kupp's been in the league for a while, but he's new to the team. You don't really have the guys who have been with the organization for years.
Yeah.
Like that you'd do with other teams. Obviously, I'm sure there's some guys that are still sticking around and that are still there, but it's not this massive veteran presence.
Yeah, they got rid of Geno and DK, and those guys were kind of the veterans on offense, and so you got JSN, but he's still newer.
Year 3, right?
Yeah, he's year 3, I think.
Yeah.
Like, that's still new, and so...
Yeah, him and Kenneth were the same draft class, right?
Yeah, that's where I felt bad for JSN because you lost Tyler Lockett and Metcalf, and it's like you're just...
He gets forced into the limelight.
Yeah.
And will he be ready for it? Maybe.
Yeah.
Jackson Smith and Jigba's a really good receiver.
Yeah.
but that's a lot to put on the plate of someone who has been essentially, I guess he was wide receiver 2 last year because Lockett was 3, right?
Yes,
believe
Lockett
so,
was 3.
Yeah.
So he's getting a spot up, but it's not only a new position at wide receiver 1 for him, but it's a new role on the team that a lot of people don't think about. Is that he is one of the guys that are the longer tenured guys on the Seahawks at just 3 years. It's the opportunity to build a new culture. It's just how do they do it, and if they're able to do it successfully.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, guys. We are way over our time. There's so many questions about Seahawks football coming up with this preseason game and getting into the season playing against the 49ers. I think that's gonna be a fun game.
I'm excited.
Niners fan in the booth up here who's super excited.
Bang bang.
2 Seahawks fans who are super excited.
Let's go.
Oh yeah. I mean, hey, this was a great episode. Gaige, thank you so much for coming on your first time up on Slice of Seattle. Monty, thank you so much for coming on this episode too.
My first time too.
I know. These are 2 guests.
sick.
These are who have been waiting for forever.
I've been lurking behind the scenes.
I know, exactly. He was behind the rebrand for the podcast, SLYCE. I mean, that's like branding genius right there. I mean, look, it's been great talking to you guys. Go Cougs. Absolutely
Cougs.
love it. But that's going to do it for this episode of Slice of Seattle on KUGR Cougar College Radio. Remember, it is a great day to have a great day, and go Cougs.